Hi, Kaustav.
Hi, hello.
Hi.
Yeah, so I'm fine, man.
Hi. Fine, fine. Sorry for the time zone problem. I always talk about my time zone. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so don't worry. We have now, 30 minutes because I don't have another call
Yeah,
later,
yeah.
so we can have the full session.
Mm.
How are you doing? Did you work in the project more? Did you?
Yeah, I worked with the project, but one thing I want to I want to share the screen.
Yeah.
Okay, just a
Perfect.
minute.
Yeah, don't worry.
So what is this happening? Okay, so when I'm pushing here, okay, when
Mhm.
I'm typing React or something,
Mhm.
it is this current reading, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I want to change itself.
Yeah.
Want to read. It is coming.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yes.
for this book, if I change this for this book, I could not able to change this state.
Mhm.
So this is only happening for one book.
Yeah. I don't know if let me. Did you send show me the code for the that page because I don't know what changes you did since
Okay, so
we.
can I live extension? Can I will
Yes.
share
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
colors?
No, yes, I think it's nice that one. Let me check if I where I find that. I
Or I will
started.
share it.
Okay. Yeah. Let's. Oh, it's starting. So let's wait until
Okay,
it shows the link. Yeah.
you got it.
I don't know. Let me check. Okay, yeah, I have accept. Let me check.
Invited, join.
I'm joining there.
Mhm.
Okay, loading.
Can you view my project?
It's loading. So in 1 minute, I imagine that I can see it. Okay, now I can see it.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, I can see
So
it.
you are in list books. I am.
Mhm.
Let me find you one moment. Yeah, you see my cursor. My cursor. I see yours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Can
So
you
then.
help me with this? Actually, this is the last thing that I will. Then I will start my Redux project.
Uh-huh.
And please help me with this.
Okay.
Mm.
So I think that the problem. Let me check the chat to remember what we talked about before. Yeah, on the search. It was the problem was in the I think in the search for books component. So I'm going
Yes, yes.
to
Search
go
for book
there.
company. Yes, yes, yes.
So here in the
Mm.
I don't know if you see. Let me check. Move that. I'm now in the search for books component. So if you
Mm.
open that in your folder, you can see. So what I see, I imagine that, okay, this is the place where you are uh,
Mm.
doing these lists and showing the
Mm.
books, like this is the
Mm.
component
Right.
that shows the
Mm.
results from the search, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you are calling this method for doing
Change book.
that shelf change that we are
Self
having
change.
trouble
Yes, yes.
now. So when I
Mm.
try to find where you are doing this call, and
Mm.
I search for it, and this is
Mm.
referencing a method in this class. So if I go
Mm.
up,
Mm.
I see that this is commented out.
Mm.
So I don't see. First, this shouldn't be, there, but there is no method. You are not calling anything here for what I see. You know, uh,
Mm.
it's just it is not doing the proper change because it's not
Mm.
calling anything to do the
Mm.
change. So that
Mm.
would be the first. And I don't know. Let's
Mm.
see. The list component is another component you did, or yeah. Let me check.
List books. List
Yeah, the
books.
list books. So let's go to
Mm.
see that one also. Um. Okay. So yeah. Okay. Perfect. So okay. Okay. I understand now. So
Mm.
in the search for books, yeah, you pass
Mm.
the change shelf, but you don't use
Mm.
it in the list
Mm.
books. It's
Mm.
so.
Mm.
Let me see where you do the on change. Yeah, now inside the bookshelf changer, in the select, okay, you are doing that on change event below in the render. You are calling that method, and that method is living inside inside here. So the problem here is like, okay, for one place you have the books that you search that live, the state lives here. This I imagine are the books that you have in the result, right? I don't know, or let me check. Okay, let me check the search for books. You shouldn't have here states for the books and the shelves. This means what the reviewer tried to tell you is, okay, from one thing you have the books in your library in the, I imagine in the app.js, or let me check where you have those books showing. You have that in the, okay, you have that in the list books, okay. And okay, let me check because I don't see. Okay, for you use both list books, class name, bookshelf, dish state books. Yeah, if your books in your library, you search for them in the app.js file, and there is where you have your books, right? So
Right.
that's the state where they live. So every time you need to do some change on those books, whenever you are in your application, you have to update them here. You have to use the method change bookshelves for books in the app.js. So that's the method you have to use always that you want to change these books in other places. So what is
I've
happening in your,
already done it. Yeah.
so what
I've
is
already
happening?
used.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tell me.
I'm already used update for this change book self for that API call. I'm using for that
Yeah. So if you open
list book.
app.js, if you open that file, you are using, yes, this method, and it's properly done and it's working. Because you are doing the change in the books in your library. But when you try to change the status of the books in the search, you have to also update these books. The books that live in the app.js component. Okay, so what you are doing is you are copying and doing another copy of the books in yourselves in the search for books in the list book. Sorry. So when you are changing the bookshelf there, you are changing the state in that component, but you are not doing the change on the in the component app.js. So React works in that the parent that has the state, in this case, your books library lives in app.js. So all the other components that need to use those books need to receive them as props, and also pass them the update method to update those books in the parent. So if you go to list books, you have to remove, and you shouldn't work with if these are the books. I don't know, depending on what books you are showing, because in one place,
This is our mapping the books and all those things from set.
oh, these are
The
for the
mapping. I'm mapping the books over here. See.
Mhm. Yeah, that's not because this is not where you should have it. Okay, you should, for example, let's come into the app.js, and if when you call search books, for example, here, look at this. You are passing the books, right? You are passing the books that you want to, not to show in the search. You want to compare your search results with these books. So also, because you pass it the books, you also should pass the method to update. So you could do something like this. Okay. So first, when you call the search, you pass it. Okay, for the search book for books, I pass you the books I want you to have for comparing the search results, And if you are going to do any updates on these books, I will also give you the method to update them. So whenever a child of these search books needs to update the books, it will have to call this parent method. Okay.
Okay.
So now let's see. Okay, now we are passing this to search for books. So we go to search for books property. So now
Mm,
in the render methods, please open the search for books.js because we are passing now a new prop. Okay. So here in the
mhm,
render, we can say, okay, just grab this method from this
mm,
dot props. Okay.
mhm,
And the books, depending on, okay, these books are the search results.
mhm,
Okay, so you want to also have the, let's call them, you have the books in my library, or something like that,
mhm,
maybe you could change this into searched books or what's it, or something
mhm,
like that. So
mhm,
now you have
mhm,
here the books.
mhm,
Okay, so
mhm,
let's reconsider this. Now, in this component, what you have is available because from the app.js, we have passed also, the books that we have in our library and the method to update from our library. So we
mhm.
can access them here. Do you follow this step?
Yeah, yeah, understood.
Okay, so now we have to pass this down to all the children that when they need to call. So that's why
Mhm,
now we can remove safely this code because you have commented it out.
mhm,
It's nice, but we can remove it. So if we go back below when you call the other component that needs to update things.
mhm,
For example, okay, you have it here. Shelves, you are passing the
mhm,
books, okay, the books in my
mhm,
library. So we can
mhm,
remove that. Go below to the final, when you call the list, okay? So I just pasted this here. So yeah, what's the constant books in my library is this. So we can
mhm,
just don't use it because you are already using that.
mhm,
So these are the books in your library, right? The shelves.
mhm, mhm,
And now the what we want to pass is okay because this component, this list books component should if they need to update the shelves books, it needs
mhm,
to call the method that updates those books in the parent. Okay, always remember that if you have a state in one place, you have to put the update into that place, and all the children need to use those methods.
mhm, mhm,
So in this case, we come here and we just say, okay, this dot, sorry, props, like that.
mhm.
Okay,
Know
we,
that.
we can remove the variables above later, because we are not
Mhm,
going to use them. But now we say, okay, app.js is fetching the books in my library, my service books. It's
mhm,
running all the stuff, and the
mhm,
component that does the homepage is working perfect. So okay there. And now
mhm,
we are passing to the search for books, the shelves, and the method to change the shelf in those shelves. So this is
mhm,
the two things we are doing now.
mhm,
Okay, so now if we go into the list books
mhm,
component, let's open it. So now when you are calling that, okay, maybe
mhm,
you are so now in the select component,
mhm,
in the select components,
mhm,
you are calling the change book shelves. So you are calling
mhm,
this method.
mhm,
So I don't know if you might need to do something here more, but just for um, this purpose, let's do this. Like now, we have this method coming from the parent, right? Oh, sorry,
mhm,
we are having this method, so we can call it again
mhm,
with this. So okay, I just keep this wrapper because maybe you need
mhm,
to do other stuff in the local components. But what
mhm,
we are doing now is let me check. now it should work. I don't know, maybe we have errors because you have to work in the project more, because there might be errors, but that's it. And this shelf is shouldn't exist. This state shelf is I think this is an error,
This is this
because
is
if you
state.
this,
Mm-hmm.
this should come from props, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I'm using state. I'm using state on for that. I've used state for that sales. I've used state for the sales and all those things.
But
And see there props.maps on line number 48.
mhm. Yeah, but that shelf is the ones that come from the parent.
Hmm.
So you should use the ones that come from the parent. If I am, if I'm not wrong, maybe you are renaming things, but you should use, because
Hmm.
if you do inner state for your components,
Hmm.
you are overriding things, and the parents won't be re-rendering.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
so I had to look more into what you are doing here,
Hmm.
but where yeah, here is when you are doing the comparison between the
Hmm.
books. These are the books in the
Hmm.
results, right?
Yes, 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 yes.
See, so that's it. If you are comparing the books, you are using the books from the results from the search for books as a
Hmm.
prop. Why don't you
Hmm.
use also these dot props? As you can see, you're using props here.
Hmm. Hmm.
So you are not using uh, I think that you should use also this, you know use
Okay.
them as props, because they come from, maybe it's I broke something because I don't know the project by
Hmm.
itself, but the important thing is that you understand why we are doing that. So if you have doubts,
Yeah. One more thing. What is the thing? How it will update? Actually, I will make a call on this change book shelf. Will it be this function will be over here, or it will be over app.js? It will pass from app.js or something like that.
okay, just a moto is around in the road doing a lot of noise. Sorry.
Okay.
So it was like boom, 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 and I okay. So you asked me where is going to live that method, this update.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, this is okay. You are doing, because what you want to change in reality is update the parent shelf. You
Mm-hmm.
just want to change, the where it's the book in your
Mm-hmm.
library. What you are going to do is this method. If you follow up where it comes from, you see that
Mm-hmm.
it's passed from the search for books component, and there it's also a prop that comes from app.ts. So
Mm-hmm.
if you call this and you try to run the project, you
Mm-hmm.
will see that you see the console log of hi on the app.ts method. Okay, so and but the important reason is that components shouldn't be overriding the state. you know
Mm-hmm.
I can pass you a diagram where you can put yeah, this is something that if I were
Mm-hmm.
your mentor from the beginning, I usually do with my mentees at the beginning of the project. And that is okay, just put I just write you there your components, and you put
Mm-hmm.
me in a box where the state of its component and the props it's that component
Mm-hmm.
is going to use. So maybe I can send you that after, and you can think about this, because it's important that you understand this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I don't know if you want to try to run the projects, because maybe a lot of things are broken.
Can I run it? Can I run it? One thing. Let's see what is happening.
Yeah, to see if it broke, if I broke something, or
Let me
uh,
check. It is showing everything is a current auto. Okay, one trading. It is showing one trade. Okay, everything is current trading. Wait. Let me check if I can change the self.
yeah. Okay. Okay, something is
Or
a problem. These props in list books is not a book. Change service book is not a function. Let me check. search books. One moment, because I might have done. Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. Change self. If you can see, I've named the search for books is named change self.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'm going to do the change one moment and just try
Hmm.
it again. Try it.
Okay.
Try it again. The project. Because yeah, I did a lot of changes. So
Okay, understood.
it's so just try to see what's happening. Okay, test it with another component. And
Yeah, it
yeah,
is fine now.
okay. So one other thing, in the books in the search that you don't have in your library should be default to known. You know,
Hmm.
so the ones that you don't have, maybe that's that book. Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Uh, yeah, sir. Can you share me the video also? What you are what? Uh, okay, and it is not changing the state. Wait.
mhm,
It's not changing the state.
okay, so it might change it. Okay, that's because now you have to work on the problem is that we are using in the app.js. Okay, if you go
Hmm.
to the method for the app.js,
Hmm.
you have to work, and you can send me your work when you make that change. If you see the method for changing the self on the app.js, the go up,
Hmm.
and you go here.
Hmm.
Uh, Here is just doing uh, it's just go up to the method. Uh, if you see this method, this is the one that all the
This is the
application is
mother.
using.
Yes,
So
yes,
this
yes.
is how you worked with it, is that now you are only working for updating books that are already there, because you can
Mm-hmm.
see that it only loops around your books. So you
Mm-hmm.
have to make another part of in this method that, okay, if the book comes from a known shelf, I need to
Mm-hmm.
add it to the state. So that would be the second case where you have to work, because
Can you help me with
so
that
this
actually?
in this method you have to say, okay, if I am updating a book only, just call this part of the code, and if I
Mm-hmm.
am adding a new book into my collection,
Mm-hmm.
you have to do some code in there to just push this new
Mm-hmm.
book into the proper shelf.
Okay, can you help me with that actually,
I
little bit?
can't work more lots. We are not allowed mentors to write
No,
much code.
actually, yeah. Don't just guide me with the code actually, little bit. Then I
Uh,
will do it.
as I told you, you have to just do that. And if else, you know, and
Okay.
if the as you have here the shelf,
Mm-hmm.
this is the sorry, this is the new shelf, but the
Mm-hmm.
book has its own property, its own shelf, and that would be the
Mm-hmm.
book without being updated first. So you
Mm-hmm.
would say that in book.shelf you will have
Mm-hmm.
the old,
Mm-hmm.
the old shelf, and
Mm-hmm.
here you have the new one. So what you have to do here is just, okay, check if the book.shelf is known. It comes from known. It's known, one of my books. You do
Mm-hmm.
that. You do that code, and in
Mm-hmm.
the else condition you just do
Mm-hmm.
this other code, like, okay, because it's coming from a shelf that is not known, so it should be read,
Mm-hmm.
currently reading, I want to read. So that would
Mm-hmm.
be in else condition. And in the if book.shelf is known, equal known, there you
Mm-hmm.
have to just do just loop over the books you have and put it into the proper shelf and update the state with that. And
Okay.
so that would be it. Later might try, maybe try to submit it if the reviewer doesn't test it, because sometimes they also test when you try to remove a book, you know
Mm-hmm.
when you put to known, and you have to test it
Mm-hmm.
that also. But
Mm-hmm.
do that change first and write me with your doubts in or show
Mm-hmm.
me what's your code, because
Mm-hmm.
we are not allowed by Udacity rules to I've helped you here. Sometimes they yell at me with that, but at least you understand how it works, the the state and the props. But that you have to work a little more with it
mm,
and ask me other doubts.
mm.
Because
Okay.
it's something that we are we are not allowed
Okay.
from Udacity. It's not a
Mm,
mentor's decision. It's a Udacity decision. So
mm,
just do that. Like if you just begin with little code to do an
mm,
if else condition and just console log, for example. Okay, in this case, I am uh, calling a book that it's not on my
mm,
library. So you do console
mm,
dog log. Okay, this should be a new book, and in this condition,
mm,
this should be an update and begin
mm,
to work. And because you manage to do this, if you manage to do this mapping,
mm,
you will be able
mm.
to do just a push into a one of the arrays that has that book. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry, I can't tell you more more about
One
it.
more thing, is this fine for whatever I've written for the cells? See, I have mapped the cells and all those things and written the book ID equals to this. Will it be fine for that?
Yeah, that would be something more or less that you should do, because here what you're doing is an update on the map.
Mm.
This is an array.
Yeah.
So here you are mapping, you are looping all over the items on the array.
Mm,
So what you have
mm.
to do is just use push, the method that just
Acha, acha, push
adds a
method.
new book into a new item
Mm,
into a array. So that would be
mm, mm,
the method you have to use for adding new data
mm.
to the array. So just use
Okay.
push. So now you have is if else and push
Mm,
okay.
mm. Understood. Okay. And what do you have any? How much time do we have?
Like 5 minutes, I think. Let me check. Yeah.
Okay. Well, like, send me the video. Okay. And little bit, can you brief me about 2-3 minutes about the Redux based
Uh-huh.
project
Okay.
so that
When
I
you
can start
Okay,
my
when you
first
mean the
project, Redux.
when you mean the review, you mean the recording, right?
Yeah, recording. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
Sorry, sir.
Video recording.
Yeah,
Mm.
okay. Yeah, well, that I might take 20 minutes because after the call it gets re-rendered until it's uploads to Drive. So 20
Mm.
minutes after the call, I might can be
Mm.
able to send it to you. Okay, so let me. Okay, stop. If you can stop screen sharing, I can show you a little
Yeah.
bit about a running project, more or less about what you should do for the project.
Mm. Redux. Redux. Yeah.
A quick.
Mm.
Let me. I don't remember where I have that. Mentees. Okay. Yeah, this one. Okay. If you. Okay, that's good. Let me. Use 12.15.0. Yeah. Start. Okay, I'm going to screen share. One moment. Okay, that is here. Okay, so okay, and where it's I don't see the view. I have to let me. Oh, come on. Okay, there. Okay, this is a project. The Budget project. So I can show you in
Mm.
2 minutes, and next week we can dive it
Mm.
more on the project.
Mm.
So the view, this project, when you read I don't know if you have read the rubric and you read a little about it.
Mm.
Um, it works only with local data. It reads the initial data from a file, and later you just have to work with Redux. All the state will live in Redux. So while you are working around
Mm.
the application will save the state, but when you refresh, you should come back to the login page. So this URL should be logging. This is an error
Mm.
on this application, but so the first view always should be logging with these three users that they give you
Mm.
in those data.ts file.
Mm.
And so the first view that you should see once you are logged in
Mm.
is this. This is a pretty UI, so but it doesn't matter the design on the application. So
Mm.
In the first place is you have to see, you will see in data.js file that you have the questions, the answers, the users. So you have to read a little bit about its information, its data, to understand, the relation between those items, like if it were a database. But in reality, what you have to show is, okay, first, the first step would be, okay, just show all the questions, in this page. Just try to attach all the redux and everything and show all the questions. And once you have that working, when you were able to create reducers, actions, and this stuff, and log the user in, you show the questions, and you have to filter them. In this case, I am the user Tyler McGuinness. So you have to search for the user ID in these questions and filter them between, okay, the questions. Oh, let me check. That was a timer I had for the, okay, sorry. And you have to filter the questions by the ones that I haven't, the current user haven't answered. So in this case, you show me, for Tyler, you show these 4 questions, for example, that he hasn't answered yet. And when you click answered questions, you just show him the ones that he already answered. So now, if you go to this view poll link, you should be redirected to this URL, like the questions, and this would be dynamic part of the URL, that is the question ID. And what you have here is just the results, all the votes, all the people that voted for each question or if each option. So here, one person voted for this option 1, another person voted for this option. And you also have to highlight in some manners, in this case, maybe doing a background color, the option selected by the user. So, I see here, and it's okay. This question was asked by John Doe, and two people answered this question, and me, Tyler McGuinness, answered this one. Okay. And if you go again to the homepage and you see, an unanswered question, it's the same URL. Okay, it's the same page. So in the same page, you have to show two different components depending on the state of the question, if the question was answered by the user or not. So in this case, it's okay because it's a new question. I just have to select, one option of the 2 ones and submit it. And once I submit it, I am redirected to the homepage. Oh, sorry, I'm redirected to the homepage. I see the same. Sorry, I see the same. There are same results as before.
Result.
In the same page, because it just changed the status, the state of the question. Another part would be, this is an easy part. Okay, just the create question that should be in /ads, and we have, okay, option A, option B. Now, yes, now I'm redirected when I click here, and you see that it's loading, and it appears the first one. Another rule for this from the rubric for this component, this view, is you have to show the newest created questions first. So it should appear the first one and be ordered, sorted by creation date. And the last part would be this leaderboard page that should live in this URL. And here you just have all the users that the application has. And in data.js, the file they give you with the data, you just have these 3 users. And this, you have to put them the score. And the score is just the sum of these 2 items, like the number of questions they have answered for, in this case, Sarah, and the number of questions she created. So she has 4 plus 2, 6. Tyler answered 3 questions and created 3 questions. So he answered 6. And this should be a ranking. So, the person who with the most score should appear first. So now with Tyler, if I create, it has 3 and 3 and 6. If we create, another question, and we go to the leaderboard, we see that now he is in first place with the golden trophy, because he created for another question. And that would be, a quick overview of what you have to achieve. And later you can send me your doubts when you approach the project, and we can dive into the little some other things that you need to do with working. But this is the project. Okay.
Okay, understood.
Okay, so working this. Oh no, it's not stopping the
So at
short.
first, what should I need to do to write the Redux part or React part? At first, what should I do?
Uh, I would do just a little components with hello, you are in this component, hello, you are in this other component,
Okay,
like
okay.
hello home, hello new question, hello leaderboard, add the routing, and later,
Hmm.
yes, try to add Redux, with
Okay.
let's focus on the Twitter example page,
Hmm.
because there you have that's
Hmm.
that view, and that's it. So begin with those, and you can
Hmm.
send me the GitHub uh, for that when you okay. I just
Hmm.
added the navigation or the components without
Hmm.
Redux. And
Hmm.
next step, I'm going to just integrate Redux, and with Redux would
Hmm.
be good idea to show me okay how you understand the data that the file has, and we just write me on the chat, and we will keep seeing that. Okay.
Okay, okay, okay. Send me the video of this session.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Okay, so good luck with the
okay.
coding. Ask me anything on the chats, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you.
I guess it will take March also. I guess.
No,
So I will be
yeah,
paying March also.
yeah. I imagine that if you understand everything well, you might finish it soon. And let's see how the
Mm-hmm.
review goes. If you are lucky and you can just jump into Redux.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks a
Hey,
lot, dude.
hey. Have a nice evening. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice
Bye.
weekend.
Yeah, nice to same to you.
Bye bye. A pleasure.
Okay. Bye bye.